Hey everybody, Bellin here with something that hasn't been done in quite a while. Time for another first impression review thing. I never stopped getting these kinds of things, but my time just kept getting even more limited with life kicking me every so often and with work constantly making me hate the world. So at a time like this where my upload is currently being cut in half by Comcast due to reasons I can't begin to imagine, I'm left with some time to de-stress and a game sent to me by a developer to look at. This time I'm going to be looking at a game called One Watch, developed by Christian Hamm and... I'm going to butcher your name, I apologize. Michail Ostrowski. I'm going to put their names up on screen. It was Michail? I'm sorry so much, but... Now reached out to me for me to take a look at his game, and he was even willing to wait while my schedule sorted itself out for something to be released, so... Big thanks to you, good sir. Being patient and all, yeah. What info I had to go off was that it was a 2D platformer, made by both of them from scratch, both are former Ubisoft employees, and that had some nice art from looking briefly at the Steam store page. I was provided with a free copy of the game, courtesy of them, and that is the extent of the influence they have on this first impression / review. No money being paid, and I get to speak my mind on how this game is. So, yay! Now into the game itself.
The Watcher awoke in a distant past.
The game starts off with a bit of a story on how the world was hit with the power of fire and ice at opposite sides by the Watcher, whoever that is. He's protected by shields, and the only one left to go against him is imprisoned in the depths of the Lost Planet, and that's where the player comes in.
Who remains to challenge the Watcher?
The game introduces the main character, known as the last guardian in the depths of the planet, in a machine-like labyrinth as we make our way out of it. It doesn't throw much at the player in the beginning, gradually letting you know how to jump, sprint, and how to refresh your jump should you need to do some wall climbing. From there, it adds more and more as the levels require more elaborate jumps and rail grabs to get past obstacles. I don't often play 2D platforming games, for obvious reasons involving me having a terrible case of forgetfulness when it comes to gravity and pointy objects in the level. But I wanted to give this game a shot. The art looked nice, the game ran smoothly, I told them I would, but mostly because of the music. Yeah. Shit, that trap again. Not even a trap, it's just me having too much velocity when I get out of this thing. The game has a great soundtrack that I enjoyed listening to over my brief playtime. It didn't really click in my head that the areas shared the same soundtrack and that the boss area had a unique one until I stopped and started looking at the recording. I just kept going at the game with my death counter going up and enjoying the music and hoping this time I would time that jump right and not get myself launched into spinning death. The controls were a good feel after an inexperienced platformer player like me got the hang of them. On a PS4 controller, I used you press X to jump and hold R2 to run. Use the analog to move around, and that's it. Steam said Xbox controller, the game said Xbox controller, but no, PS4 controller. The controls are standard fare, I'm sure, but it also came with little things that made it feel just a tad better. Like while running, you could stop at a moment's notice by letting up on the analog stick. But while grabbing a rail, you would slide just a little bit, making momentum a constant thing to worry about unless you change your direction to slow down, your feet touch the ground, or you jump on a wall to start climbing. After quite a few deaths, I started to get the hang of it, and only really began to mess up when I would get impatient. I'd start trying to speedrun the level, and only after getting past what I eventually saw, I would die in a panic because it's all new stuff, and I don't know what I'm doing. I might have accidentally just did what I had to do there. Cool. Now up. Why the fuck do you want me to go up, game? You're safe. Oh god. Alright. Alright. No lasers anywhere. Ah, no! Touching briefly on the graphics, they look great. The game does come with quality options for bloom, virtual sync, and light rays, but I didn't notice a single issue anywhere with all of them on and with bloom on high. It appears to be a very lightweight game that should run flawlessly on even weaker rigs that aren't built to take on like AAA games. Each area has a distinctive feel, and the color palette represents not only the area, but how far you are in the area as well. In the first chapter, it starts out blue and full of enclosed areas, but by the time you get to the end of chapter 1, the levels get more open and full of color as you reach the surface. In the second chapter, the levels are floating machine platform in the sky, with the red in the sky filling the screen, and eventually fading away into blue tinted areas as you try to get closer to space or whatever else is up there. I say that because, unfortunately, I didn't beat the game this session. I sat down with the intention of at least clearing 2 chapters before I did this little first impression review, and had a time limit of as long as I can until life interrupted me. As per usual, I only had about an hour and some change until something had to be done somewhere else for my computer. With that said though, I am most certainly going to be coming back and playing this game, because it was just fun. If me saying that wasn't already obvious enough, I dare say I love this game. Never got too challenging to the point I thought the game was unfair or impossible. I always knew what I did wrong and how to fix it, despite how often I kept messing it up. The new mechanics are introduced in a nice pace, the controls feel great, the music's catchy, the visuals are great. What else can I say?
God damn it. This fucking disc
I maybe
of
want to
death.
look into more platforms and maybe give them a fair share on the stream if I could ever get into the hang of jumping on the other platform instead of jumping into the gears or the empty void. Right now the game's on sale for $9.99 on Steam. And for what I've played right now, I would buy it maybe at $7.50 or so. I don't know how long the game is, but looking at the Steam achievements, I got 2 of the 6 that it had. One involving dying over 100 times, and the other one for beating every level in Chapter 1. With achievements leading up all the way until Chapter 4 and one more for something else, I'd say I didn't even reach halfway through the game. Knowing all this, now I say if you are a fan of platformers, it's a good one to look at. If you are new to them like me, it may be tricky at the start, but it's good fun if you have some time to sit down and enjoy it. My playthrough of the game will be on a separate video, linked in the description for those curious what the first chapter and a half looks like, and for those who want to see how many times I died in those tricky jumps. Big thank you to Christian Hamm, and I'm going to say her name wrong, I apologize, Michail Ostrowski, for giving me the chance to take a look at this game and giving my honest thoughts on it for everyone to see. If you want to buy it yourself, I have another link down in the description as well, just to take you directly to the Steam page. So with all this done, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little look at One Watcher, and I hope to see you in another video of mine. Stay awesome, and hopefully, you will let me entertain you one more time, another time.